Santos, and I am the executive director of the North Durham Chamber of Commerce and the CEO of Trifecta Sales Systems. My book that I've done in MicroBook Magic is called How to Be a Thick-Skinned Salesperson, and essentially teaches people the sort of three main areas of sales and how to be a good salesperson, even if you hate selling. Sales is really difficult. I was born and raised in England. I now live in Canada. Um, but there was a very big stigma I felt around asking people for money. I found it very, very, very hard. And it was sabotaging my business. My inability to ask for money and get the credit card sale in my business was really hurting my revenue. And so I really had to figure out a way of how to become a good salesperson without becoming a sales shark, essentially. And so the three-step process that I've outlined in the book basically tells people how to get the money, get the sales, and still feel, like you can have a good night's sleep. I am so busy. I am the, I don't know, I'm so busy. And so everything is a priority. I have four children, I have two jobs. I like to do photography and yoga, and, I like to do all the things. And so writing a book is really important to me, but trying to slot it in around all of the other things that I need to do was really difficult. And so I sign up. This is my second time through MicroBook Magic. So this is my second book that I've written with Vicky. And the main reason I do it is obviously for the guidance and the layout and how you're going to technically do the book. But it's for the mostly for me, it's for the accountability and also the camaraderie that you create with the other book writers in the group. No. I mean, to be fair, I've known Vicky a long time, so I'm not the best person to ask. But the reason I have no worries about working with Vicky, even though we are friends, sometimes it's very difficult to work with friends. But even though we are friends, I'll work with Vicky every day of the week. She just she knows her stuff, right? She's got all the designations and all the accreditations, but more than that, she knows how to break down a really big topic like writing a book into bite-sized pieces that you can just really get your head around, especially if you are as busy as I am in life. Um, Her ability to break that down for you makes it easy to write a book. No, and I've done it many times. I've worked with Vicky on various projects over the year, but this is my second time through MicroBook Magic, and I wouldn't hesitate to fork that money over, and I will because I have a third book in my series of books. So I will be joining MicroBook Magic again and forking over all the money necessary to make that happen. I don't ever anticipate that I will become a millionaire from the books that I write. My goal with the books is to make sure that people have a resource that they can turn to help them with the most critical aspects of their business. For me, writing a book is to get my knowledge out there to people who can't necessarily afford to hire me, but it's also a really good marketing tool. Like writing a book opens doors. So if you're looking at writing a book as a marketing investment for yourself, then you're looking at it the right way. If you're looking at it like, well, this book's better make me my money back, hard pass. But if you know and understand the value of having a book and how that will open different doors and different avenues and different career opportunities, then fork over as much money as you can, in my opinion. And I know myself very well at the grand old age of 45. For me, consistency is key. And so what Vicky offers inside MicroBook Magic is a very consistent schedule to get the work done. So every week we're chatting, every week we've got office hours, every week we're on Zoom, and it just gives you that accountability to get it done and the consistency so your book always stays front of mind. When you're writing a book, it's really easy to say, well, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'm really busy today. I'll find the time tomorrow. I'll do double tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes, ever. So that is what getting working with this group and working with Vicky, that's what it really gave for me. Obviously the knowledge of writing books and the camaraderie and everything, but the consistency I find is critical. And Vicky gives that in spades. Getting your book at the end of it, of course. When you get the book, I mean, so look, listen, go through trials and tribulations writing a book. That's for sure. You're going to second guess yourself. You're going to go through all of the emotions. But when you get the physical copy of your book and you can see it on Amazon and you can share it on all your social platforms, that there's not really a feeling like that. It really makes it all real. And it definitely is one of those sort of like, oh, I've done a really good job. So for me, it's, getting the book in the end. Accountability, 100%. Consistency, camaraderie. I think writing a book is quite a lonely endeavor. If you just sat one day and said, right, I'm going to go write a book, that's great and, fantastic, all the power to you. But when it actually comes to writing a book, getting started, knowing how to lay it out, knowing how to structure it, getting that voice right, is actually quite overwhelming. So that's where, being able to lean on the group to kind of see you through is key. But without the accountability of get it done, the consistency of keep it front of mind every single week, and the camaraderie and knowing that you're not alone, sort of like, you're in the trenches with other people, that really goes a long way to getting the book written in chunks and then obviously shipped to your door when it's all finished. First time that I did the MicroBook Magic, I leaned heavily on the templates because I didn't know what I was doing. The second time around, because I already had that information in my head, it kind of flowed a little better for me. And I'm thinking the third time might even go, it might even go easier again. And so it's kind of one of those learning processes, right? If you're new to MicroBook Magic, use all the tools and all the resources, and then when you come back, that information's kind of solidified, and it makes the process easier and quicker. So the templates are key, in my opinion, to sort of stabilizing the big picture of the book, and then you can kind of work from there. So if you're new, 100% get them done. I always recommend Vicky to everyone for all the reasons. I recommend Vicky. I mean, I recommend Vicky obviously for book writing. I've probably done, I mean, in the last couple of years, I've done two books, but I've also done other things, book writing things with Vicky in the past as well. I think that she has the ability to make everything friendly, right? I mean, in a very overwhelming world and in a very overwhelming sort of project, like book writing is quite overwhelming, Vicky has the ability to make everything feel very friendly, very personable, and just very easy. And so if you're the kind of person who's like, oh my God, I've got to write a book, I've got to write a book, but you're thinking, oh my God, I could never write a book. That is just like, oh, I could never do that. Vicky's your girl because her perspectives on book writing and authorship are just really, it just feel good factor all around, really. Someone who's suffering from a bit of sort of imposter syndrome, that sort of, oh, I could never write a book. What have I got to talk about? I think doing a course like MicroBook Magic is really key because in my opinion, everyone has something to say. Everyone has something valuable to share. And I feel like sometimes people think, oh, no, 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 I don't have anything that I could share that would be worth anything to anyone. And that's really wrong. And I want people to know that everyone has a book inside of them, but I know how sort of scary it might feel to go ahead and do that. Putting yourself out there can be quite overwhelming. So I feel like Microbook Magic is the perfect place for anyone who's got that a little bit of imposter syndrome. I feel like they would do really, really well in Microbook Magic.